Numerous rounds of powerful thunderstorms have impacted many towns and cities from Spain's Mediterranean coast all the way to Italy over the last several days. And now that a new cutoff low has moved into the area, additional rounds of intense rainfall and severe storms has occurred and will continue in the short term, especially around the Ionian Sea and parts of the Balkans. But as we look ahead into the rest of the week, extreme heat, heavy rainfall, and more severe storms are in the forecast across the European continent. I'll break down everything you need to know in this video, so let's get started with the first chapter. Hurricane Ernesto has been the main story in the Atlantic for several days now. The storm brought heavy rains to the Lesser Antilles early last week before making landfall on Bermuda as a Category 1 hurricane over the weekend. It did weaken back down to tropical storm status on Sunday before acquiring Category 1 status again. Thankfully, after passing Newfoundland earlier today, no other land masses will be at risk from this system as it degrades into a post-tropical cyclone. Other than that, the tropics look pretty quiet, with no other areas currently being monitored at this time. Keep in mind that as we do approach the peak of hurricane season, that can easily change, so if you do want to stay updated with the latest information regarding the tropics, make sure you regularly check the National Hurricane Center website. Now for a photo of the day, we have a great picture of a distant thunderstorm at sunset submitted from Romania on August 15th, 2024. If you have a picture that you'd like to submit for the next photo of the day, or to simply share with other weather enthusiasts, you can join our Discord server, which is linked below. This week's edition of Extreme Weather Events Worldwide is focusing over Canada, specifically the Toronto metropolitan area, after severe weather struck over the weekend. On the afternoon of Saturday, August 17th, numerous thunderstorms swept across the area. Damaging wind gusts and hail were a possibility with those storms, but the rainfall quickly became the main concern. Environment Canada has confirmed that some locations saw over 100 millimeters of rain, and since all of this happened in a relatively short time, it's no surprise that flash flooding unfolded in various locations. Additionally, the Toronto Pearson Airport reported multiple leaks in some of the terminals, as well as many flight diversions and delays. This is just one of the many examples of how dangerous typical summer storms can be, so always make sure you take warnings seriously. In northwestern Europe, widespread cloud cover and rain has moved in, with the center of low pressure located just to the north and west of Scotland. Widespread moderate to heavy rain showers are occurring as well, being most focused over Ireland, Northern Ireland, and western Scotland. A separate low pressure system is located in the Norwegian Sea, and while it may be harder to see the center of low pressure, the cold front associated with it extends all the way down to northwestern Iberia, with some steady rainfall occurring especially between France and the Benelux countries. Then for the rest of Europe, the main story is scattered thunderstorms, especially around the cutoff low located around southern Italy and the Ionian Sea. Between Tuesday, August 20th and Friday, August 23rd, I'm watching several areas with a severe weather threat. In northern Africa, Morocco and Algeria will have a severe weather risk mainly on Thursday and Friday. In Spain, I expect daily chances of thunderstorms, with some possibly being severe. The risk will begin today and then expand tomorrow. From Italy to Belarus and some neighboring portions of Russia, severe weather will be a possibility at times, especially between today and Thursday. Lastly, the area extending from northern Turkey to Ukraine, Russia, and Georgia will have a risk of severe weather, especially on Wednesday and beyond. While this may be a concern for some of us, turn your attention to northern Europe, where we will once again be dealing with the pests from the west. As the current systems continue pushing east, heavy rainfall can be expected mainly in portions of Scandinavia, with the cold front extending down into France and Germany. On Wednesday and Thursday, waves of moderate to heavy rain and even some non-severe storms will push through Sweden, Poland, Czechia, Finland, and the Baltic countries. The next wave of rain arrives right around Wednesday morning in Ireland and Scotland. This area that I just circled is actually the remnants of former Hurricane Ernesto, and as you can see, it's really nothing more than just another wave of rain. The heaviest precipitation will then target southern Scandinavia on Thursday. Once we pass this point, a large portion of northwestern Europe will remain under the influence of this large mass of low pressure, keeping rain showers and cooler than average conditions in the forecast. This brings me to my temperature outlook valid through Sunday, August 25th, which actually looks quite similar to many of these maps that I've created in recent weeks. Cooler than average conditions are likely over much of Ireland and the UK, parts of Scandinavia, and Iceland. At the same time, just about everyone else will be above average, especially in the deeper orange shades in northern Africa, Iberia, parts of northern Russia and to the Nordic countries, and a vast area of Eastern Europe down to the Middle East. In the dark red extending from Serbia to Russia, far above normal temperatures are expected. I'd also like to mention that weather services in various countries have issued heat warnings where temperatures will likely reach the upper 30s and even lower 40s. And as you can see here, this won't be a short-lived heat wave since it's unfortunately going to last throughout the whole week and probably beyond. Temperatures this high and persisting for long periods can easily become dangerous for anyone, so please make sure you stay hydrated and remain indoors as much as possible, especially if authorities encourage you to do so. The constant heat waves and worsening drought in this part of Europe has really become a big issue this summer, but at the same time, abnormally cool and wet weather has plagued many areas in the north and west. According to this weather model, areas in the orange could see as much as 100 millimeters of rain throughout the next 5 days, with the same being true in parts of Norway. On the other hand, many parts of southern and eastern Europe will be mostly dry, except for some places like central and eastern Spain into France, where thunderstorms and a wave of rain is possible. From Italy to the Baltic countries, multiple rounds of thunderstorms will keep locally heavy rainfall in the forecast. Lastly, let's compare that to the overall precipitation forecast valid between August 18th and the 25th. Most of Scandinavia into Ireland and the UK will be leaning above average, and as we would expect, the darker shades of green include the areas seeing the heaviest and most persistent rain. Above average precipitation is also possible in parts of the Western Balkans and Italy up to Poland, while the rest of Europe sees average to slightly below average precipitation. That's going to bring today's forecast to a close, but make sure you stay tuned for more updates. You can be sure that a new video will be released this week if something particularly concerning arises, but other than that, I think we've covered just about everything. Remember to click the thumbs up if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.